Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I'm your host, Denise, and this week I am going to review the blockbuster summer movie Twisters. This movie stars Daisy Edgar-Jones, Glenn Powell, and Anthony Ramos, and they play the characters Kate, Tyler, and Javi, respectively. All right, so I'm going to get right into this. This movie starts in Oklahoma, then we go to New York City, and then back to Oklahoma. Well, our main character, Kate, she is, a storm chaser, and she's very, very skilled at what she does in terms of how she can just kind of look at the way that the wind is blowing ever so slightly on blades of grass, or ever so slightly off of a dandelion, or anything that's very subtle. She has that ability to recognize that, yes, a storm is brewing. It's brewing from this direction, and it's coming probably at this speed, and we need to get to it so that we can do our storm, analysis and our testing. And what she is able to do is kind of, shift the effects of how a particular tornado is going to not only develop, but how it's going to, take its route and then finally, disappear. So she has this knack. She's very good at it. But at the beginning of the movie, tragedy strikes. I won't get into what that is or who is involved, but tragedy strikes, and then we now shift 5 years later, and she is a meteorologist in New York City. And she has we can kind of guess that she's still got maybe some guilt and some feelings of maybe I could have done this, or maybe I did too much of that, which caused that tragedy. And, she's still kind of reeling from that. Well, Javi was part of that team of storm chasers from 5 years previous. So he is now working on something in Oklahoma that is going to affect these storms and tornadoes on a different level. He's got some, ground-breaking tracking mechanisms and devices that he thinks are even better than what he and Kate and their team experienced 5 years previously. Well, of course, she is reluctant to have any part of it. She's like, that part of my life is over. I'm done with that. I'm a meteorologist. I just want to give the weather, in my local jurisdiction, and that's it. Well, of course, he convinces her to come back to Oklahoma, but she goes back to Oklahoma telling him, I'm just going to give you a week of my time. Don't think I'm jumping back into this, and that's it. Fast forward, they go back to Oklahoma. Well, this is where they meet the dashing and quite handsome Tyler Owens, played by Glenn Powell. Now, he is a YouTuber with over 1 million followers because of his storm chasing antics. He is very charismatic. He is very confident, kind of reckless in how he approaches his storm tracking. but he is quite knowledgeable about what he's doing. So even though there's a lot of chaos around him, when he is storm chasing, when all of that is said and done, he does know what he's doing and what he's talking about. So that's how the three of them meet and interact with each other. So we've got storm chasing, and we've got, disaster that comes with it. And in this particular movie, I will let you know it has absolutely nothing to do with the movie Twister, all right, from years past. There's no connection. No one's related to anybody. None of that. So it's not a part two. So when you go to see this movie, you can go and not, you can go and view this movie not even having seen the first one. So you'll be fine. So that's what we have. We got tornadoes, that mass destruction, and things and people flying everywhere, and crashes, and the whole disastrous effects of a said tornado. Now, with Javi's character, not only, has he lured his friend back because he feels like, I've got some groundbreaking technology working here. That's the case. But then Kate finds out that there's a little bit more to what it is you're doing. And I don't know if I'm feeling, all of what you're doing based on what she sees his team doing and how they interact with the people who've been affected by these tornadoes. So that's the story. Okay. So the cinematography and the special effects are there. I found myself in the movie, like, the storyline is just, was, for me, it was just, okay. We know that probably Kate and Tyler kind of sort of like each other, because one wink or one look and a smile from Glenn Powell's character, and she's kind of, maybe we'll see. But I found myself getting, I guess, anxious when the storms are coming. So the storms are coming, they're swirling, but I found myself tensing up in my seat a little bit, not because I don't know that this is a disaster movie, but what kind of disaster is about to happen in this particular scene? Who's going to survive? What's going to be destroyed? How are you going to survive this? So those particular scenes is when I was kind of like, uh-oh, what's going to happen to this person? Oh no, watch out, here comes a bus, so it's that sort of thing. So there's some kind of anticipation going on in the movie, but I give it about a 7, a good summertime movie, a good date night movie as well. So that is my review. Twisters, it is worth the price of admission. And if you just like, the whole concept of storm chasing and the effects of, hurricanes and tornadoes and all of those things, this is a movie for you. All right, folks, I'm going to jump into my Nailed It this week. And my Nailed It comes from the movie There Will Be Blood, and a scene from one of the best actors out there, Daniel Day-Lewis, and his baptism. He is baptized by the preacher Eli, and he is reluctant, but knows that, okay, I can do this. It's just a baptism. But I'm going to tell you, I've never seen anybody baptized quite like he was baptized. He was baptized and humiliated. And Paul Dano's character, Eli, who did the baptism, oh, he was loving it. So that scene, I am a sinner, and getting smacked around and humiliated during a baptism, that is my nailed it for this week. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Denise, and there I will be. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.